Welcome back to the channel, guys. Something a little bit different today for you. A bit different from the Mazda content. I've got my dad's Nissan Qashqai in the garage because he needs it serviced. So oil change, air filter, and it also needs some rear brake pads. So I'm going to show you how to do those jobs. So stick with it. Let's get it done. So get the car jacked up. Get both rear wheels off the car. Get the bonnet open, and for the brakes, because we're doing the pads, just want to undo the brake master cylinder reservoir. So undo that, just take your cap off. That's all ready for when we push the pistons back into the caliper, so that you don't get no sort of overspill of fluid. So once the wheels are off, we'll go down to the rear. So I'm only doing the pads on this, I'm not actually doing the discs as well. So to do the pads, should be a fairly straightforward and quick job. This bolt here and this one here, we're going to undo those, which are 14mm, and then we can take off the caliper. We'll do that next. Bit of gentle persuasion. And the bottom slider pin. Okay, so there's the old pads now that the caliper's off. Put that out of the way, balance it up the top, tie it up somewhere out of the way, and then we're going to push that piston back in. So I'll show you how to do that right now. So if you've got a caliper rewind tool, set that up, put that in, and then twist the rewind tool to push it back in. If you haven't got a rewind tool, what you can do is use an old brake pad and push against it, or screwdrivers and push against the piston, but you just need to push that back into the housing basically. So I'm going to get that done now. So pistons push back in. Now we're going to take out the old pads. So prise them off of the disc. And out. The pads on this are actually not too bad, but they flagged it on the MOT as being an advisory, so we're going to do them anyway. So with the pads out, we want to clean up all of the little clips that the new pads are going to sit in. Just take a wire brush, give those a nice clean. Give inside the caliper housing a clean as well. So that's nice and clean, ready for the new pads to be installed. Now what I use is Permatex Ultra Brake Parts lubricant. So I'm going to apply that to inside the clips for the pads to slide on, and I'm also going to apply a little bit of this as well onto the backs of the brake pads. So on the back of the shims here, where it makes contact with the piston on the caliper, that will help reduce any brake squeal or brake noise. This lubricant will be used on the slider pins, so I'll give these a clean up and then I'll reapply a little bit of that onto those as well, on the top and bottom one. So I'll do that now. Okay, so the slider pins, top and bottom, have both been greased. The pads are in, and on the back of the pads, like I said, I put a little bit of Permatex grease on there as well. So they're both tightened back up now, those two bolts. That's it. The brake pad changes complete on this side. I've got to do the same on the other side. Once the other side is done, all you need to do then is just press down on the brake pedal just to seat the piston against the pads, and then that'll bring the pressure back up in your pedal as well. Alright, so that's the brakes done. So just a little note with these new brake pads, which are made by APEC. If you get the same ones, there's the part number, pad 1826. What I have noticed is the rear shims, these are the old pads, and these shims that go on the back, with the new pads, they've got, if you see here, they've got these two little nibs in the actual pad itself. This side hasn't, but it's the one with the brake pad wear indicator on. So because of those two nibs, this nib here and here, I had to cut slightly the shim to allow for the shim to go onto these aftermarket pads. It's not going to make any difference, but I had to do that. So that's just something to keep in mind. Okay, so the brakes are done, the wheels are back on, it's back down on the ground. So now we can concentrate and have a go at doing this service as well. So parts I'm using, blueprint. So the oil filter, there's the part number for the oil filter if you wanted to get that. Okay, and the air filter, again, this blueprint as well, and the part number for that is just here. Okay, so first job, going to do the air filter, which is located just here. Looks like it's just a couple of clips, one there and one there. Undo that, pull the old element out and pop the new one in. So going to do that now. And the clips just pull off, and then this simply lifts out. As you can see, looks okay on that side, but then it's filthy on that side. So that's going to need replacing. To do that, simply pull it out of the housing, ready for the new one to go in. There's the old filter. You can see, pretty crusty, pretty rank. Let's get the new one out. There's a nice new clean air filter. Pop that in the housing, just how the other one was. When you install it, make sure you sort of seat it right down into the housing. It's properly seated. Slide it back in, push it back together. Get your clips over the top, clip it down. And that's the air filter changed. Next job, I'm just going to quickly top up the screen wash And to do that, obviously there's your screen wash cap there, pop that off, and then just add your new fluid in. So that's the next job. Didn't have to add much to that, it was near enough full up already, which is good. Add the cap back on, job done. So next up's going to be the oil change, and to do that, if you look down the front, the oil filter is located just where my finger's pointing there, that white cylinder. Okay, now it's really quite tight to get in there, but the best way is from here, going down, getting your hand on it, and then spinning it, obviously to the left to undo it. So next job, I'm going to jack the car up, undo the sump plug to drain out the oil, take off the oil filter, we'll spin on a new filter, and then refill the oil. So that's the next job. Right, so I'll take you underneath the car just to show you whereabouts the oil drain plug is. So work your way back under, and there it is there. Okay, so what you want to be undoing is that nut just there. Okay, that's the sump, so we'll get that undone, which I believe is a 14mm. Get that drained, the oil into the pan, and then we'll get the filter undone. That's draining out nicely now. So another little tip, when you're draining your oil, and that is to undo the filler cap as well, because it will help it drain out. So get that undone, and then it will flow out just a little bit quicker. So another tip when removing the oil filter, which I said before is down there, get yourself a freezer bag, sandwich bag. What you're going to do with that is wrap it, unscrew the filter, then wrap this around it, so that when you undo this filter, this will catch most of the oil rather than it going everywhere. You can't odds it, when you undo these filters, it does make a bit of a mess, but at least this way you can try and catch some of it in the bag rather than it going all over the floor and all over your under trays. Alright, so that's a little tip for you. So before you put your new oil filter on, just put a bit of oil around the top of the rubber seal. That will just help that when you spin it on and when you take it off next time, it shouldn't seize to the engine block and make it really hard to get off. So yeah, just make sure you've got a little bit of oil around the top. I'm going to fit that now, the old one's off as you can see. I'm going to put that down there and then spin it on, and then we'll fill up with some oil. Okay guys, so once you've done your service, oil's filled up, we need to reset the service light where it's saying service due now. So hold down the button on the right and then let go. Press it till you get to settings, twist it, and then you go down to maintenance by twisting the little knob, press it onto it, down to service, click onto that, and then you'll see where it says reset. Click on that, click reset, done, back, and go back, click on exit. Hopefully now, when we turn on the next time, it should have disappeared. Oil level okay. There you go, and the service light is no longer illuminated. So that's it guys, Qashqai's all serviced, oil changed, rear brakes, pads are done, top up of screen wash and a new air filter. So hope you like the video, hope it helps you out if you're doing the same job. Hopefully get back on the Mazdas next time, now my dad's car's done. So back on the track car in the next one. See you soon.